Mid-engine Corvettes are a lot like UFOs. People have been seeing them for years, but the man still won't admit they are real. After innumerable false starts and broken promises, a litany of sightings around the Detroit area and leaks from GM have folks reasonably certain that the unicorn of Chevy performance is very likely right around the corner. Today on the Car Truth Report, we're looking at what we can expect from the much longed for mid-engine Corvette C8 Zora. Before we get into the car, let's start with the man. Zora Duntov was the mastermind who transformed the original Corvette from a docile roadster into the Ferrari-smashing race car we all know and love. His contribution to Corvette includes many features such as a small block V8 and four-wheel disc brakes introduced in the late 1950s, features that were, at the time, only found in the highest performance cars. Mr. Duntov also created the Grand Sport program, which transformed the Corvette into an 1,800-pound car that actually held its own against purpose-built prototype racers in its day. His achievements earned Zora Duntov the loving title, Father of the Corvette. It is only fitting that the new C8 would bear his lauded name. The C8 will continue Mr. Duntov's tradition of innovation. The heavily camouflaged prototypes seen tooling around Michigan's southern peninsula indicate an unmistakably mid-engine car. The nose is longer than expected, perhaps to ensure the next Corvette continues its predecessor's tradition of having ample cargo space. But behind the B-pillar is obviously where the engine lives. Because of the camouflaging, we can only guess at the aero, but we can make a few pretty good assumptions. See those massive screen panels on the front skirting? I'm not willing to say for certain, but they sure look like some impressive air intakes. Within the last week, there has been a massive leak out of GM posted on the Corvette Forums website in the form of CAD drawings snapped with a camera. Now we're cooking with gas. We see massive calipers on, as of yet, nondescript brake rotors. The engine looks to be the naturally aspirated LT1 with headers as opposed to a manifold. There is an undefined accessory pulley, and the alternator has been moved, presumably to fit better in the rear mid-engine bay. The suspension appears to be something special, perhaps GM's much lusted after magnetic shocks, or even fancy spool valves like those found in F1 cars. It also appears that Corvette's trademark transverse rear leaf spring has finally been retired. We can only speculate as to why, but perhaps there wasn't room anymore. We can expect at least 3 engines to be available for the C8. It is expected to launch with the naturally aspirated LT1 in the base model. If the rumors are to be believed, this car would cost in the neighborhood of $68,000. Expect a dual overhead cam twin turbo. We've heard 4.0, 4.4, 5.0, and 5.5 liters all listed at one point or another, and possibly some form of supercharged V8 to follow suit. Also from the CAD images, we see a rather beefy gearbox. This could be a totally new component not seen before on any other General Motors car. There are also rumors of a dual clutch transaxle being the only option. That could mean the C8 will be the first Corvette without a 3-pedal option. It is, of course, too early to tell. And while we're at it, if you like the idea of an affordable, American, mid-engine sports car, then go ahead and click that like button. The 8th generation Corvette will have a hydroformed aluminum chassis like the C7. This suggests that the Zora will be much more affordable than its mid-engine competitors. While we fully expect the top performance C8s to reach well above $100,000, we at least have evidence that the naturally aspirated Corvette won't be another $250,000 toy exclusively for oil princes or financial robber barons. And so it finally appears to be happening. 3 years after Bob Lutz publicly speculated the C8 Zora would be announced next year at the North American International Auto Show, we have the most concrete evidence yet that America's original supercar will undergo a revolutionary metamorphosis. This is a moment that is not only special for Corvette fans, but for American automotive aficionados as a whole. While the Europeans seem only to compete with cars built for the wealthy elite, General Motors manages to bring blue-collar muscle around the world, and best Ferraris and Porsches in top-tier racing. While we can't be exactly sure what GM has planned, at least we have some tantalizing clues that Corvettes will forever come from the house that Zora built. Be sure to click subscribe because we will be doing an entire long-form video on the Corvette god himself, Zora Duntov, at some point in the future.